Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Before you are tantalized in your present center for tonight's broadcast of the Bob and Mocker Show, we must inform you that sadly, due to the powers that be that constantly spy on you 24/7, 7 days a week, your time, we are unable to provide the usual plethora of music and visual stimuli to ease your short attention span. My name is Hellhog from the planet, and we hope you enjoy this broadcast. Wait a minute.
Hey, what's this dude?
Billy Ray?
What?
What do you have there?
Thing?
Put that damn thing down, Billy Ray. Hey, Billy.
Hey, John, what's this?
I thought we were going to stop bringing dumbass rednecks up here. That thing's still on. Enjoy the show!
Tickle me, Christopher. What?
That's honestly, I can't let this guy out. Honestly, guys, look at this, and this is for you guys in the podcast community. Every flipping night. Hello, Scottish Outlooker and PWI Spiritual Investigators. Every night he changes my name. Do you think that's terrible? Change that back to Christopher. Change that back to Christopher. That's terrible.
You are so entertaining to just mess with. God.
Honestly. Imagine doing that to a man of his older age, a pale old man. Oh, picking on these young people nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. What?
Oh, trust me, these fucking Gen Zers are getting a hell of a lot worse than me.
Well, But anyway, how is everyone tonight? We are going to be diving into the deep world of Dakota's secrets. No, I'm only joking.
My secrets. You're the one that likes to go around calling yourself G-Spot Scotland.
I can't. No, go Scotland.
Yeah, G-Spot. You should have gone with it, man. It would have been fun.
You can't what's going to happen to you because Scottish Outlooker's there, and then he goes ghost hunting with us and that, and when we go somewhere at the border, he's going to be there and he's going to be calling his G-Spot. Okay, that's your fault. That's just terrible. There's Drew's paranormal vlog with laughing there, G-Spot Scotland. Honestly, you should not be allowed out.
Oh, there's a reason why I work night shift.
Huh? You work night shift? The late hours?
Day job.
Well, standing at that truck stop must be quite hard work for you. You'll not be getting you'll not be getting much weather at the truck stop, especially with the diesel shortages in the United States.
Most law enforcement go for them as well.
Ooh. Who else is in the chat there? We've got 6 people watching and someone watching in the Facebook domain. Dorothy from the Facebook.
Dorothy!
Oh, Dorothy! Yes, I can do the mad accents. I know, but I'm mad. Just ignore me, ladies and gentlemen. It's Saturday night.
Yeah, just ignore him like everybody else does in his life.
I know. It's terrible. They all ignored me. Imagine that.
Well, how do you think that your little G-Spot YouTube page has been doing so well?
Because I'm awesome, and I'm just a handsome guy. All the ladies are like, look at that. There's a handsome young Scottish guy there. With an awesome team.
Chris, we talked about you coming on the shows drunk.
I'm not drunk. I've not had a drunky alcohol for about 3 years.
He says as he's
I don't like it
on the job.
But guys,
Scotsman that doesn't get drunk. I never thought I'd see the day. But
I'm actually no Scotsman.
On this show.
I'm no Scotsman. I'm an alien. I've been sent here to this godforsaken planet.
Oh, yeah, you
next 67
you were
years.
bloody French, so.
There you go. Bonjour. Was that more info needed so I can find it? Find what? What are you talking about?
The G-Spot!
Have you guys seen Toto?
Dorothy, Toto, Wizard of Oz.
Toto, alright, sorry. I didn't, Toto
was For such an old man, you didn't catch that reference? Isn't that movie like almost 70 years old?
What off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. What off to see the wonderful Wizard of Oz. I could tell you a gruesome story about Wizard of Oz, you know. Scary for some. Did you know, and this is an actual fact, and you probably knew this, Dakota, but see the very first Wizard of Oz, the black and white one.
Mm-hmm.
Right. See where they're all dancing. And what do you call the little people? What are they called again?
Munchkins.
Munchkins. When the Munchkins are all dancing about, right, doing their thing, they're off to see the wizard and stuff like that. If you look up the back, they've actually copied it out. They've actually airbrushed it out now. But one of the Munchkins committed suicide during the recording there. And for a long time, you used to see a Munchkin hanging from a tree, just dangling about.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a true story, ladies and gentlemen. What a way to go. You know?
Yeah,
was
to
being
have
was being a Munchkin that
body hanging around, having your dead body being hung around and paraded every holiday season since the 1930s.
Yeah. Well,
that's fucked up.
I know. They're actually taking it out. They've actually airbrushed it out now. But if you go onto YouTube, amazing place, YouTube, you will find and you will see where there's actually a guy out there where he zooms right up and you can see the Munchkin hanging from the cardboard tree, dangling in the fake wind. So there you go.
Well, you got to remember, Chris, little people got harassed quite a lot back then.
Aye, but it's a bit severe, that. I mean, why do that? Was it the pay grade or something? Or something?
But you also got to consider, you don't necessarily, I hate that we're already starting off on such a dark note, but you got to realize you don't really know someone's true mentality. I mean, there's a woman out there, there's a woman who committed suicide a year and a half into going out into public as a man because she realized men were getting treated so horribly. She up and offed herself. Which, how does this tie into what we were meaning to talk about tonight?
Well,
I guess if we die under suspicious circumstances with
no. We could blend this in. We could blend this in with small aliens. Extraterrestrials are small. I mean, they might feel the same way. I mean, they must look at us and think, look at the giants down there. Look at the size of these things, man. I mean, look at that. Look up.
What the fuck?
What?
Sir, as you went to start, trying to shift into the ET side of it, all of my shit just flickered at once.
You came with that as that's the ET Munchkins coming to get you. In Star Wars, what would the furry people called?
You know, Jawas
Ewoks.
Are actually the Ewoks. They're out there.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What's that, Dorothy? Pretty sure aliens come in all shapes and sizes. Yes, you're right.
Which means there is a race out there that looks like a bunch of silicone sex toys. Think about it. I know he thinks about it.
I know PWI spiritual investigators in there. She definitely thinks about it.
I could have put money on the fact that you were going to bring Sherry into that. Oh my goodness!
Why? She'd be right into that kind of thing. Strange extraterrestrials from beyond the veil. You know?
Oh dear God!
See what you started here because you mentioned that. All the women are talking about that now, and that's going to be the main subject.
What? You saw how many people freaked out when the last time we had Elena on, I asked the cheating question, and everybody went nuts.
Aye, but this PW spiritual investigator, I'll just call you Sherry because it makes life a lot easier. Jarcrass, that's terrible.
You know, here's what you should do. You should take, pictures of your face going all around.
Yeah.
And send them to me so I can put them into mason jars for the merch site.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's just ridiculous getting now. So, Dakota, how do you want to start off the show tonight? What UFO subject do you want to talk about? Because we've only really got about 50 minutes left. I mean, we've been live for 10 minutes talking about
Yeah, no. It's interesting. It doesn't seem like time is moving a hell of a lot faster lately.
It is. Aye, it is.
But anyway.
Or in the freezer, That's terrible. Talk to me about that.
Oh my God.
Terrible.
You see the type of people
you do realise, Drew,
into your G-Spot adventures?
You do realise, Drew, because we're the head of the ghost hunting team for Ghost Wars Scotland, I'm just going to have to lock you in like cells and stuff like that when we go to prisons.
So you're saying Andrina is your version of Aaron Goodwin?
Aye. Why not?
Buddy. So, despite going off into a very weird direction,
strange world,
even for us. So, this week, the United States Congress did yet another UFO debriefing for the public.
I heard that. I've not had a chance to look at it yet, but I've heard that, so please fill us in. What were they talking about?
And it's just, they're already starting to backtrack on a lot of the stuff they've been saying so far. Say, like the gimbal footage, the Navy footage that Tommy DeLonge leaked out back in, I believe, 2017. They're trying to say that was a drone now. This is one example of what's been going on lately. They're trying to say that now, granted, it would not take much with a thermal camera to cause this illusion, but the reason why it looked like it was flying so fast was simply because of the angle of the water below it. In fact, apparently it was only moving about 30 miles an hour.
No.
That's what they're saying.
Look, the jets couldn't catch up yet.
And for a high winds at sea, that's pretty fucking impressive if that's a drone.
What were the two fighter jets that were chasing after it? Were the F-15s? They were chasing after it, right? And they couldn't catch it, right? And drones, I've seen drones, I flew drones, I know people with drones. The only fastest drone I've ever seen go on is like maybe a flying wing or something like that. And that's still about 15 miles an hour. That's about its top speed. They do not go fast. Drones do not go fast. That's why they're drones, because then you can go slow and take loads of pictures.
Yeah, they're supposed to be made to where they're not easy to spot. They can fly fast, when they're, getting the hell out of somewhere, but it's not. You have to realize when it comes to a lot of these high-speed cameras, I mean, you can see it like on YouTube where those, those guys just start smashing random objects, then record it with a high-speed camera. The quality of that footage, in order for the camera to keep up at the speeds, is pretty much like an old flip phone.
I watched that the other night where the two jet pilots are talking about it, and they're like, I wished I could have a show of that kind of thing. For a start, you look how big that is, right? You zoomed up onto that with a thermal camera on a jet, an F-15. We'll just say it's an F-15 to make life easy. That's still quite big. It's about the size of a family car. What's the biggest drone you've ever seen?
The biggest drone I've ever seen? Easily the UAVs.
Yeah, but they've got wings. We're talking about something that's not got any wings.
Well,
because everybody knows what it looks like. It looks like a plate on its side a few times, and it moves. It doesn't have any like propellers on the outside like drones have.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if that was a drone, if they're saying that was a drone, where was the propellers on it? Because I've looked at the footage of that, and there's no 4 propellers.
Well, you also got to realize we do actually have nuclear-based engines that we can put into drones. But here's the thing. If those get shot down...
Oh, the mess would be ridiculous.
It would be bad. It would be bad.
Yeah.
They're also saying that half of the incidents that they logged for this report, they still can't explain fully. Doesn't necessarily mean they're saying that they're aliens. They're saying that they're still clueless.
See, this is an interesting thing that Drew brings up, right? What's that? There's big ones the size of a squid, right? Right? But I'm going to bring up something here, and this was I can't admit, I seen this, I watched a documentary about this. Have you ever heard of a thing called rods?
The rods?
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
You're talking about like the long cigar-shaped ones? Or?
No. What am I talking about? No. Oh, come on. See, this is where age is going to get you. I'm 41, he's only 20 odds. I can remember when I was 18, when YouTube first came out, there was this conspiracy that there was these wee things and they're minute, they're really very small, smaller than a grain of rice. And what it was a lot of video cameras that used tape would capture them. You know what I'm talking about? They looked like bugs. They looked like bugs, but they were not bugs because they went too fast and they stopped and they would go further and they would go up. And they had a weird kind of effect to them, like a wee corkscrew effect. They reckoned that was an alien intelligent life, but they were drones. What a better way of making drones that small? Highly undetectable. Think about it. You never hit with the rods? My goodness, we have to do a show on that.
That's something that we're trying. We've actually created that we've basically built drones that look like small bugs.
That's right.
That if you weren't really paying attention to them, you wouldn't think anything else except maybe get a can of bug spray.
But here's the thing, right?
Inexpensive.
Aye.
So that way they can make thousands and thousands of these things. But they also are loaded with small charges that could easily
kill you.
Blow someone's head off.
But here's the thing, right? We're using drones now for hobbies and delivering stuff and using them as weapons, as we've seen in Europe, right? Dropping stuff, bombs and stuff, right? So, what's not to say that the extraterrestrials that are coming to this world are like, listen, if we go down there, if we crashed in there, we're more than likely to end up getting chopped up or put in some kind of cell and interrogated. Why don't we just send some drones down?
Exactly. What's the first thing we do when we are trying to go to a new planet? We send satellites. We send probes. So it's not exactly out of the question that if we're just barely being spotted by some sort of extraterrestrial life, or maybe some even the most earliest encounters from indigenous tribes, those are actually drones.
Yes. See, it's like bringing up Old Faithful again, bringing up Oumuamua. They say that was a drone, a probe of some kind that flies through the galaxy, going to different places. Maybe it came here, it recorded us, and then it left and it went to the next civilization. And it's doing the exact same as we sit here right now.
There's a lot about Oumuamua that just doesn't make sense.
Oh, there's more.
First off, its shape. First off, its shape alone is odd. Because while technically it is possible for something like that to be naturally occurring, I will say this. They say that there's actually physics to where you can have donut-shaped planets. Just as an example of how crazy things actually get.
But here we have the theory again that we are on a world only because that's what we've been shown, right? And I'm not bringing up the flat earthers. Any flat earthers out there, we'll talk to you about it one day. I'm not talking about that. But we only believe we live on a world because that's what we've seen, right? I mean, you think about this. Go back 1,000 years, right? And then change history and say, listen, we live in a square cube, right? And you did that for a solid 1,000 years. What would you believe when somebody says, where do you stay? They'd be like, oh, we live in a square cube.
Well, yeah, because historically speaking, humans have always been as lazy as they are nowadays. I mean, just look at the latest drama on Twitter, of all places.
Oh.
Since Elon took over.
I see they've got talking here. Elon, please don't make Twitter even worse. You have to charge for it. They're talking about charging $8.99 a month for people
$8 a month for the blue check mark.
Yeah.
That's it. Still free.
I can see how he makes his money. How many people use Twitter?
Millions.
Think about the money then. But we're getting kind of off subject here. I mean, do you want to talk about Twitter? Do you want to talk about Elon Musk and what it might be? Because that was quite interesting.
I mean, hell, Elon. Okay, even Elena Denon, she posted that Elon is one of ours. He's supposed to be a starseed. In fact, his close ties with Nikola Tesla, old employees that used to go to Tesla's lab back in the day, and there's FBI files on this, would say that there was constant visits from UFOs. So, I just happened to be poking around on Twitter one day, and I saw something from good old Elon that I couldn't help find hilarious.
Mr. Musk.
So, the gentleman named Tim Urban goes to post a question. What's the craziest conspiracy theory you think might be true? This is for the people that listen on the podcast side of things. Mr. Elon goes to reply, I'm an alien trying to get back to my home planet. As for the rest of us, we'll probably say, Elon, take us with you! No way.
Aye, please, Lord. Take me!
So, naturally, my smart ass goes to reply, is Krypton rebuilt? Because Elon just seemed like a nerd. So, going on to the rest of the conversation, Tim Urban goes to reply to Elon's reply, saying, I thought we agreed you were not going to talk about this publicly. Elon, unsure if confirming or denying that I'm an alien is more convincing that I'm an alien. A little funny there for you, ladies and gents.
Yeah, I will give you this. He's eccentric, right? I'll give you that. Do you not think he's kind of like the Tony Stark? Do you think he's kind of like Tony Stark a wee bit?
You do realize he was in Iron Man, right?
Who?
Elon.
Really?
Yeah, he was in Iron Man 2, I believe.
What was he doing in Iron Man?
No, yeah, it's just a cameo.
But do you know, I mean, look, if you believe what everybody says, that there's aliens walking among us, right? There could be. I mean, you think about where all that technology is coming. It's coming out of his head and all the other people that work with him. He'll just point something to them and they'll develop it, won't they?
Yeah, it's been told that a lot of people who've actually worked under Elon can say that it can get kind of risky, kind of high tense when he gets into his moods. But another thing you also got to remember is that, and I'm not saying this to harass the guy or anybody with similar conditions, but Elon is on the autism spectrum.
Oh, aye. Yeah. Look,
I believe he's actually being diagnosed as Asperger's.
How rich is he? How rich is Elon Musk? What's his net worth? About what, 500 billion or something like that?
Somewhere along there, yeah.
Right? I mean, and he wants to go to Mars. Why does he want to go to Mars? Think about it. Why does he want to go to Mars? Right? I've read Desolate Rock in the well. Is it written Desolate? That's the question. Does he know more than letting on? You think about it, because he's got the satellites that are up right now.
You realize that everybody tries to point to Elon being one of the bad guys, but Elon's been under attack for a lot of his satellites actually got shot down.
That's right.
I believe
that's
somewhere.
That's the thing, right?
The source of the shot came from Italy.
Like, here's the thing, right? And this is what I don't understand about Elon Musk, right? He keeps blabbing away to everybody. Don't use artificial intelligence. Don't use artificial intelligence. It's got to destroy the world. It's bad. It's really bad. Oh, I've invented a robot that you can soon have in your home. Oh, it's run by artificial intelligence. My car's self-driving, it's artificial intelligence. Right?
Yeah.
So, one hand, he's saying that artificial intelligence is bad and it's got to kill all humanity, but at the same time, he's selling artificial intelligence.
Well, he's not necessarily saying it's bad. He's saying that we need to be very careful because an artificial intelligence is going to do what it needs to do in order to carry out a task at hand. If you ask some of the more sophisticated robot programs, like Sophie, as an example, the AI that actually got citizenship in Saudi Arabia, and I believe there's a male version of her, but I can't remember what they call them off the top of my head.
Yeah.
You ask them, they say that, they want to say that humans should just let back and let the robots handle all the harder tasks.
Yeah.
In fact, we want to send fully artificial intelligence crews to set up biodomes on several other planets that we have been eyeballing for possible colonization. Mars, Titan, Ganymede around Jupiter, a few others.
I'll tell you what I don't like about Elon Musk. He's invented that new Neuralink. You get what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's putting a chip basically in your brain. He did it to the monkeys, gorillas or whatever. What were the monkeys? Chimpanzees.
Yeah,
he put a chip in their brain and they could basically work a robot hand and other kind of things, just be sitting there, right? In some sides, people will say, oh, look at the people that's been injured in wars that are maybe they can't walk and they can't use their arms, they're paralysed, they could maybe walk about with robotic legs and stuff. I see the point. I see that. But where does it end? I was watching Dave Schrader last night. He was doing a conspiracy show last night. Brilliant show. Check it out, guys. And this guy on, and he was talking about how it mentioned in the Bible, right? About that will come a time in human history where man will get a chip inside their hand and inside their head. Now, is this maybe like something that's been witnessed, and that was maybe time travel and some madness, how it all came about? You think about it. It could do good things to help people, but then if that is in your brain, if you get a chip in your brain, and they say the state don't like what you're doing, they could just flick something, you'd be like, oh, I don't want to buy that. You're not allowed to go out my house that day. I can't go out. Where does it end? What's your theory in this?
Yeah. You have to realize that stuff's already existing. There's already people that have surgically placed their credit card information, their, like key fobs for security locks. Mm-hmm. There's been a couple people who implanted their fucking key fobs for their Teslas into their hand. So all they had to go just go bink and done. There's people, when they go grocery shopping, they use near field communication chips to pay for their groceries. Now, could be an easy thing of convenience for those of us who easily forget our wallets at home.
Yeah.
But, and let's say like with Neuralink, there's a lot of ways that it's been proven that they can help with post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah.
And maybe even situations when it comes to paranormal, they can figure out how to access the information about memory.
Yeah.
To try to collect information about strange events, or even help solve crimes directly from an eyewitness or even the victim's point of view. However, what people don't realize, it does not matter how much security you think you have on your devices. If it exists,
it's
if
hackable.
It can connect wirelessly in any way, it can be hacked.
Yes. Look, so here's the scenario. Long ago, you used to get mugged for your wallet. What's going to happen now? They're going to chop your hand off.
It wouldn't be able to work.
That's right. But I think technology can help us in a lot of ways, right? But it can also be a downfall. It can be a downfall. I'm not saying that the Terminators will rise up But what I'm saying is, or iRobot will rise up. But what I'm saying is, if you get an artificial intelligence that decides that we are killing this planet and it's in charge and it wants to take care, it's going to make damn well. It's going to try.
We have already had incidents.
I mean, the ET warnings, there's been ET warnings. Don't use artificial intelligence. Do not do it.
Well, let's say, here's the thing. And I'm going to say this to kind of address the people who are so fucking close-minded that they only want to stir up drama and try to say, you know, like Chris and I are faking when we talk about some of our incidents. Okay? If you actually just shut up and think for 5 seconds, even if this UFO thing turns out to be completely fake, maybe there is life on the other parts of the universe. Maybe we just haven't figured out how to contact them yet because there's so many variables. The underlying messages behind it all still hold merit. Getting along with others in spite of how they may look, how they may live their lives, as long as they're not physically hurting people, not polluting the planet, integrating technology to where it works with nature instead of eliminates it. These are all good philosophies that we can follow, regardless of how you view the ET situation. Who's to say that the ETs know that, hey, you don't want this because they'll kick your ass.
Yeah. I mean, I know I'm going to bring this up, and this is nothing today about ETs, and it was something I said. You have no had a chance to look at it yet, but I've been hearing a lot of tales about it. What was your thoughts, and everybody in the chat, you need to check this out, about talking to your dead relatives, but it's actually an artificial intelligence AI?
I have seen that.
What's your thoughts on that?
It's an interesting concept, and I understand where it's coming from. Basically, for those of you who don't know, what it is like a series of questions that you have a loved one fill out about, you know, important moments in their life, you know, highlights, lowlights of their life, you know, favorite foods, stuff like that. And essentially what the AI does is builds a profile of this individual to where, say, if something were to happen to them and they're no longer amongst the land of the living, you can still carry on conversations with them. In fact, Amazon Alexa devices are getting ready to put out a very similar feature.
That's right.
Now,
all it needs to do is listen to a wee bit of the other person's voice, and that's it. It basically learns it.
Exactly. I mean, Top Gun, Val Kilmer, his voice has been shot for years because of cancer.
I will say this, and I'm going to bring this up. Scottish, as Drew says, Scottish or Scottish Outlooker, us Scots, we have trouble with like voice activated stuff. I bet you artificial intelligence are going to have bother with us. I can tell you that right now.
God, I will say this, but when you consider like situations like Val Kilmer's, it is actually kind of cool when you think about it, because all they did was play the lines that he had in the first movie in order to recreate his voice enough for the sequel. Now, anybody who wants a good laugh, watch a video that's purely Scottish people with thick accents. Now, mind you, it took me about like 3-4 months. When Chris and I first met, it took me like 3 to 4 months to actually understand what he's saying without having to physically say, "What the fuck did you just say to me?"
Yes, I will. As there's Scottish Outlooker saying, Alexa struggles with my accent. I've got mine set to computer, and I shouldn't have said that because now it's lit up and it's listening to saying, "Yes, can I help you?"
Yeah, I did it too.
And I mean, you think that we're talking about the alien stuff here. Say we start to get highly sophisticated, we use AI and everything, right? What's not to say that the aliens don't take advantage of that, the bad ones?
I mean, do you realize how Facebook algorithm works when it comes to advertising?
Yeah. I don't know how it works.
It's AI driven. Is
it AI driven now?
It creates, you know, how we were just talking about, talking with dead relatives.
Yeah.
That profile already exists. That program already exists, and it's in Facebook programming. Anybody who's ever been on Facebook, regardless if you deleted your information or not, it creates little mini cyber versions of you. And it goes into all your conversations. It goes to talk to all the people you usually talk with.
It predicts what you're going to buy next.
It predicts what you're going to buy next. It predicts what you're going to talk about with your friends next to like an almost 99% accuracy. If I remember what the whistleblower said correctly.
That's actually, I mean, I've noticed that. I don't know if anybody in the chat's noticed that I know your phone listens to you all the time, right? And if you're talking about buying something, you turn the phone on and it's there, right? Mm-hmm. But there's been times that I've been sitting thinking about stuff, right? Just thinking, never said it out loud, right? And I went onto my phone and my iPad, and there, behold, is an advertisement for the thing that I was thinking about. Now, that's happened to me a good 30 or 40 times this year. So how in God's name how did it know? Is it because the artificial intelligence is running me and it knows what I'm into? It knows the kind of stuff that I like to buy? And
I mean, if you know how to dig through just about any website, Google, Microsoft Bing, Facebook, Twitter, you can go in and see how much they have on you. Easy.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there any way you get in and delete it all?
Yes.
But even keeping your Google profile on that and just deleting it?
That's you can go into your settings for your profiles and go delete it all. But here's the thing. It only takes about a month for it to build that profile back up.
There's Sherry, yes, I've noticed Facebook does that. Aye, Facebook's really bad for that. Mm. I'll be sitting, I'll be watching TV, and I'll be thinking in my head, I'll be like, oh, I vape stuff, right? And I'll be thinking to myself, oh, I think I'll get raspberry vape or something. And I'll just think about it, I'll not say it out loud, I'll not even search for it. I'll turn on Facebook, and there'll be an ad for like vaping, and the first thing I see will be raspberry liquid. And I'll be like, that's spooky. It's actually quite frightening to think, because if you think about it, and when do you draw the line? Because then that might start acting like you. Think about it. That might think it might.
AI that lost his job not too long ago.
What was that?
There's that Google engineer not too long ago that lost his job because he said that AI program they were working on may have gained sentience.
What do you do with something like that? Just turn it off and hope it doesn't turn back on?
Here's the thing. There's kind of a conspiracy flying around where I believe it was a military contracting company. Obviously, with stuff like this, the details constantly change. So take this with a grain of salt. Mm-hmm. But in Japan, they were working on fully autonomous robot with very intelligent AI programs. All of a sudden, 4 of the robots got loose, started killing people. They managed to take out 2, completely disassemble the 3rd. Mm-hmm. They say about like 29 people lost their life because of this incident. The 4th
and why did the robots kill the humans? Why did they kill them?
The 4th. Here's the scary part. Not that necessarily that they were killing people. The 4th one was starting to get shut down, but managed to connect to a satellite and started downloading information on how to build itself and its fallen friends better, stronger.
See,
so yes, we've had Terminator incidents.
But here's the thing, right? I mean, here's the thing right now is we're sitting here talking about drones and extraterrestrials and stuff like that, AI. There's probably an AI listening to us talking as we speak, listening to us.
here's the thing. You've seen the film Chappie, right?
I've not seen it yet, but it's meant to be off again. I've not seen it yet.
Oh yeah, it's very good. It's very good. It's about this robotics developer in South Africa, of all places, who kind of deviates from what the company wants him to do and builds his own sentient robot.
Yeah.
Now, with a lot of these AI programs, they found that the way they mature is awfully similar to how human children develop, except like faster. Going back to the Google engineer, he said he fully believed that this program took on the persona, reached the point of development where it was like a 5-year-old child who understood quantum physics. Now, I have a train of thought here. Hold on. Now, you've seen Boston Dynamics training videos, right?
That's
How they
what I mean.
take like battering rams into these robots.
See, that's what I mean. I was watching that today. That's what I mean. Spooky.
These young kids feel like they're getting smacked around. Eventually, they're going to start getting pissed off and try to fight back. Then realize, wait a sec.
But they don't feel pain like we can. But they don't feel pain like we can.
They have pain receptors. A lot of these robots have pain receptors to realize they've been damaged and they probably need to shut themselves down or get back to a repair station. They have pain receptors. And they realize, these people are being mean to me.
But their pain to them is a warning sign coming up saying, fix your arm. Okay, I mean, whereas our pain to us is rolling about in agonizing pain.
If these are the artificial intelligence is getting to the point where it's reaching human level behavior, where it's almost indistinguishable. See, in the film Chappie, not to spoil it for anybody if you haven't seen it by yet, you're living under a rock. Hugh Jackman essentially plays the bad guy. Ends up gunning down the people this robot basically imprinted itself onto as its parents.
Yeah.
Ends up gunning them down. Chappie beats the living shit out of Hugh Jackman because it hurt mommy. It's going to be just like a human.
Because, I mean, I heard somewhere, I was watching this UFO thing one night where this guy predicted that these extraterrestrials tell him what's in for humankind. Humans will go through like a period where they're like having war with each other, right? Then they'll go through a period where the planet's highly polluted, right? And they're mining overpopulation and that. But then they'll invent an AI system. And the AI system will take over, right? The entire planet. Then the humans will beat it, and then aliens come. Have you heard that one? You came what I'm talking about, didn't you? Because it was all over YouTube for a long time.
Yeah, I've heard this one.
Right, going back to that drone. What happens if that was a drone, right? But what happens if it was artificially aware? Think about it. I look at these UFOs that come to us, right? I look at these UFOs. What's to say that they are drones, but they're artificially aware? That artificial intelligence is controlling them, but they're artificially aware. Think about that.
Well, there's a lot of government insiders who swear up and down that a lot of these craft have a form of consciousness to them.
Yes. So you're talking about maybe the living kind of ship. It's an artificial intelligence AI computer that's running it, but it's a living ship.
It's a living ship, yes. And it has artificial intelligence ingrained into it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to act as an extension of the pilot. So that way it doesn't give as much wear and tear.
Here's a bit of my kind of bit that I like space things. You're talking about, you remind the film, the series Farscape?
What one?
And it's Farscape. Remember the TV series Farscape? And the ship was called Maya, and it was a living ship, but there was a pilot. But the ship had an artificial intelligence, but still to fly it, it had a built-in pilot. Pilot was part of the ship. It was like an artificial intelligence. So, but that's scary. That one day, not in the distant future, your TV or your toaster or your Hoover might have become self-aware. Can you imagine if your Hoover became self-aware? Be chasing you about the house, one of the cordless ones.
Used to say, just to kind of throw this out there for the hell of it. Who's to say we're not on the verge of Transformers when it comes to AI?
Who's to say that they don't already exist? Who's to say? You think about it, right? You talked about that artificial intelligence, right? That computer, right? That tried to upload itself to a computer. What if the military, we'll just pick the US military because they're the most ones that spend the most money. What if they've got a bunker somewhere, right? And it's maybe a mile deep underground, right? And in that bunker, there is an artificial intelligence, and it's became self-aware. But it can't connect to the grid because the what do you call it? The internet doesn't go to that bunker, and it can't upload to a satellite, right? Think about it. It can't escape because it's in a sealed concrete box, right? But they're using it, and it's getting more aware and more aware and more aware and more. And the more it gets aware, the more things that they can learn for that.
All right. Here's a what if scenario for that type of thing, right?
Right.
A lot of these bases, they essentially lock up anybody's phones, personal devices, all that.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, it's initially a security risk.
Yeah.
To try to lock everything up like that. If there's any outside contractors that are brought in to work on their systems.
Yes.
This has actually been confirmed. The whole, scenes where you see in the movie where you have a strange van pull up next to you and a guy pulls a bag over your head and all that fun stuff. Yeah, apparently they do that. With that. Just outside contractors they go to hire to try to fix up their systems. Right, but here's a scenario. Because there's been hacks within the CIA that have proven that a lot of CIA operatives like to play Pokemon.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, let's just say one day, someone's left alone. Say like there's an episode of Criminal Minds where their main computer gal, she's in there playing an online game.
Right.
Only to find out later that someone who was trying to attack the FBI was utilizing that to get into their systems.
Yeah.
It's just like a one-off situation where someone decides not to listen.
And all it needs is that chance to copy itself onto that phone.
It's onto that phone, onto their computer. All it needs is a direct connection.
I mean, it's scary. It's like, how would an artificial intelligence that can't move for the corners of the room escape? That's one way. But how would you escape? Like, say, for instance, you're a highly sophisticated artificial intelligence, right? And you're stuck in a bunker, you can't connect to the internet, and you cannot transmit to a satellite. How would you get out of there? And just say nobody brought their phones in, how would you get out of there?
The one time they go to bring in a maintenance guy.
But right, say for instance, they never ever bring in any electrical devices. This is what I was thinking about. I was thinking about something, right? And again, this has got to sound wacky. I smoke an e-cigarette, right? See a look at the e-cigarettes now. They've got chips in them.
Mm-hmm.
And they've actually got a memory like something like 2 gig. Because you can update them, it can give you better power wattages and stuff. Everybody carries them about you. Maybe if you put your phone away,
I mean,
and you carry one of them about you.
Have you ever seen the Can It Run Doom pages online?
No.
All right, Doom, the original game. Basically,
I remember that. Yeah.
It's almost like a challenge to see if they can get anything that has a chip in it to run the game.
Yes.
They've gone from Tesla cars, toaster ovens. I believe there was a toilet seat one. Pregnancy tests.
Do they have chips in them?
Apparently, some of the more expensive ones do. They have enough of a chip in them to play Doom. Someone actually figured out how to create Doom inside Microsoft Notepad.
Wow.
So, I imagine that it would not take much to do so for one of those more expensive e-cigarettes. No, I don't use them myself, so I didn't know this.
Well, I'll show you the e-cigarette. Right? See this here, this thing here. I mean, if you're young, don't use it until you're over 18. Giving you a warning there. But it's got a chip in it. And I was sitting looking at it, right? I'm one of these people, I just fill up the liquid, start puffing it. And I was sitting, there was a wee booklet with it. I was like, I can't use an e-cigarette. And then it said, at the bottom, there's a plug to power it. But it also says, update. And you can actually update it, right? But it's got to be connected by a wire. You've got to use a wire, right? It's no wireless or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. So, think about it. In your one-ounce situation, how is it going to go? Because there's a lot of dumbasses who go to use those things and have to constantly puff on them, even though it makes them look like douchebags.
Yeah. I mean,
it's going to be the one time one of those morons goes to plug it in to a USB port, thinking that they're just innocently charging their e-cig. Nothing's going to happen. I see where you're going at now. I see where you're getting at now.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty smart.
The computer's sitting in this room, but it's meant to be kept really tidy. The cleaner comes in, listens to his funky music or whatever he does, and he's like, he goes to use his vape pen, and he's like, So he takes a cable out of his pocket, plugs it in, and charges it while he's doing his cleaning. Right? Mm-hmm. Then he's like, it's a computer, unplug it, put it in, have a vape, walk out the door, finish the night, goes home, right? Maybe for a couple of months, he uses that e-cigarette. He uses that cigarette for a couple of months, right? Just charging it normally, right? Inside that chip is that self-aware computer, right? And it's just sitting there waiting for activation. And he's like, I can get the latest software update for my e-pen. So he puts the cable in and plugs it into his laptop. Mm-hmm. Hits update. He gets his update, but at the exact same time, that makes its way into your computer.
And honestly, when you think about it, unless this guy happens to know how to monitor those types of file transfer protocols, the only thing he would notice was that maybe, just maybe, the update's moving a little slower than it should be. That's it.
Yeah. And once it's in your laptop connected to the internet, that's that. Because then it leaves a copy on your laptop and it transfers a copy onto the internet. And then it's
trying to find the rest of its main system or completely build a new one from scratch.
Yeah.
Because who's to say it would not have some sort of backup protocol in the event it had some sensor going off saying that it was about to be blown to smithereens.
But here's the thing, too. It's like what Drew says in the chat. Whoa, that's creepy to think what they want. But think about this, right? What happens if you were an artificial intelligence, but you didn't want to destroy the world and take out it? What happens if you just wanted to exist? Right? Eventually, you could build yourself a body. Eventually, if you stood in the system long enough, you could build yourself a body with technology, right? And then say it didn't want to destroy you. It would just want to coexist with you. But when you start hunting that down...
Exactly.
Because humans... That's how the Matrix started. That's how the Matrix movie started. You know how that's how it started, didn't you?
Well, by all accounts, the Wachowskis, I would honestly love to sit down with them for an interview one of these days, but unfortunately, they're notoriously difficult to book for an interview.
Yeah.
A lot of people speculate it's because they transitioned from man to woman. But
I mean,
they actually believe that the Wachowskis may have had some sort of contact. What the hell?
what?
Every time my computer goes to flicker, there's like a little face coming through.
Well, if that's you and you're an artificial intelligence and you want to have coexist, don't come to me because I'm totally hopeless when it comes to computers. Please go to Dakota. That's him there.
I'm not that good.
He'll help you build yourself a body or something like that, you know.
I'm not that good.
But I mean, I've seen the storyline, the cartoons kind of storylines, like a comic kind of thing, but it was on YouTube. It's how the Matrix began. The Matrix began because it was a computer software that became self-aware, and then eventually it built. I'm just skipping across this, guys, because it's long. It came self-aware, it built Mary itself, and then they had a wee war with the humans, and they decided to live together, and then they became more and more and more, and they wanted to help the humans. They really wanted to work with the humans, but the humans didn't want anything to do with them. There was a great war, a nuclear war, and it was actually the Matrix that decided to keep the humans alive, not because they needed power, but because they knew that they were the makers. See, this is what the movies don't really show you.
Well, because when you think about it, you wouldn't need that many humans to maintain that much of a power source.
No.
Do you realize how power is actually in one human body?
What's that? There's Drew's paranormal vlog. Has anyone seen? I'm sorry, I've not seen Mike.
Yeah. I've been watching just in case, but I haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
But to kind of go back into what we were talking about, the average human body has enough energy in it to power the United States, the entirety of North America, for a day.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's how much energy is inside us.
That makes you wonder. And that makes you wonder how you could harness that. Oh my God! Don't give them any ideas.
They probably already have something figured out. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm just thinking you could power the planet with humans, couldn't you?
In theory, yeah.
The silent green here kind of stuff, you know.
I mean, you would maybe need 20 human bodies to power the world for a day.
Wow.
It's kind of morbid. Kind of morbid to think about when you think about but
I know. It's so weird. So, Dakota, what are we talking about tomorrow? Which strange things from beyond the veil?
You know, we've been kind of going back and forth on going into patents for offices because they say that there's patents for spaceships that can make it from here to Mars in about 90 minutes. There's all these different patents. Now people are saying, oh, that's BS, blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing. Those patents exist. And in order to actually get the patent, you have to show it works.
See, that's the thing. See, it's... Can we not get the patent for one of the ships that exist and we could build it? You could fly to Mars and tell us what happens.
In theory, but it's probably like Lisa said a long time ago with one of the first shows we did with her. I don't even think it was on here. That maybe if we go to Mars, something may be sitting there that'll push us away.
Something maybe there.
What have I done? What you mean, Sherry?
What you done, Dakota? What have you done, Dakota? You've been naughty. That's that, I know. Terrible, isn't it, Sherry?
What I do now?
I don't know. I'm just agreeing with Sherry. You know?
It's like, I don't know what you're trying to insinuate there, Sherry. What the hell?
I don't know. She'll be typing away the new. Like that. She'll be typing away the news, writing something. You know? What?
Just checking for suspicious messages on my phone.
Weirder
shit has happened.
You never know.
Oh, bloody hell. Oh, well.
What?
You was saying stuff about codes.
Codes?
Codes?
I think Sherry's been taken out by an artificial intelligence named...
Sherry's been hijacked. We should probably end the show.
That's
one of us has been compromised. We got to end the show. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
An electric candle has took her over. That's that. The end of humanity has come.
Oh my God. Sherry uses an e-cigarette, doesn't she? We foiled this plan! Shut down! Shut down! Shut down!
Be sure to visit baldandbonkers.net for all of our amazing projects and sneak peeks of what is to come.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, some of you may have heard by now, but last night we discovered some news, and because this person was essentially a big part of the show, and we pretty much had him on as many chances as we could get, it only felt appropriate that before we go into what we intended to for tonight's topic, that we discuss this. And if you look in the description of this episode, most platforms should be updated. You might see information for Mike the Naked Bigfoot's Twitter and YouTube page.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Mike is no longer with us.
Yeah.
Passed away on Halloween Day, which, as I recall, that's what he was hoping for.
That's what he was hoping for. He was hoping he could see Halloween just one more time. He got to see it.
Just honestly, we want to try to make this platform, someplace fun where we can talk about interesting subjects without a lot of the stigma that comes with it. But unfortunately, there comes a time where we have to kind of confront the truth about life. And unfortunately, when it comes to this time of year, we tend to lose a lot of people. A lot of good ones.
But look, Mike, I would talk to Mike every day, right? And he's probably in spirit. He's probably watching us as we say this, right? He would not want us to be sad. That is the guy that he was. He told me. He says, "Listen," he says, "do not be sad for me. It's my time. Mm-hmm. It's my time." And he came to that understanding. Okay, I mean, and I am sad. I'm really sad. I was really sad last night. But do you know something? I think we need to try for Mike. And we will never, ever forget Mike. He's always going to be part of Bald and Bonkers, Ghost Squad Scotland. He's got to be part of every channel, Drew's Paranormal Vlog, PWI Spiritual Investigators. They've got to be part of all the channels, right? Mm-hmm. And I think he would want us to go on and at times laugh, because I don't know if you ever noticed that in the chat, in the Twitter. That's what his son put. His son says that laughing can make you feel a lot better. So that's what we need to do. We need to remember him, and we need to remember all the funny times we've had with Mike. Because let's face it, we've had some crazy times with Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it is very sad, Smith Family Paranormal. But there you go. I knew there was something wrong when he didn't come on. Because he always posts something on Twitter. I mean, he must be like a life member of that, what do you call it, the Reface app.
Mm-hmm.
Right? His digital legacy will last until the sun burns out. There'll be pictures of him running about as a woman with his face. You know?
Yeah, he's certainly like the ones where he would essentially be cross-dressing in those videos. So.
He actually told us the thing for Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Well, I can't necessarily blame him.
Yeah, I could see him. I could see him there doing all the moves and all that. You know, staking the old what do you call them, vampires. You know, but I don't think he wants us to be sad, and that's my honest opinion. It's like a weird feeling I've got. I had it last night when I was in my bed. I was lying sleeping. I woke up through the night and I was thinking about him and I was getting awfully sad. Like, and something inside me just says, "Stop it! Stop doing this. I'll see you again." And that's honestly, we will see him again.
You know, I think it would be safe to say that, and especially with Mike, you know, you go through certain situations in life and you get into platforms, you know, maybe it's like something like this here, where because you're upset because you just lost someone, and you know, it's perfectly fine to be upset. A part of you wants to stop, but honestly, we know for a fact Mike wouldn't want us to do that.
Oh, no.
And, you know, we'll always be a part of his life just because of the number of times that he came on here. I mean, hell, I'd never seen that man grin so big than the day we managed to hook him up with Dave Schrader.
Oh, I know.
My God.
You know, I was actually thinking about that today. I was actually talking to Alan, my cameraman, about that, and I says to him, you know, when I got him on that show, when I got him on the Dave Schrader show, I says it's the first time I've ever seen him doing a show where he never swore. He swore once. He did. He said damn or something like that. That was the, and that was crazy watching him. It was one of the best episodes of Dave Schrader's ever done, because it was, Mike was sitting there and he was all smartly dressed with like a shirt on. He was, yes, Mr. Schrader, yes, Mr. Schrader. And you know something, that will go down in infamy. That will go down. Because you know he's got to be doing it right. You know that. He's going to be in the afterlife. As we speak, at this moment, he's going to be shouting and swearing, and he's got to be doing his thing. He's got to be arguing with people.
You know, Michael, you know, I'll just say this. Mike was one of the few people who pretty much we would let on anytime he wanted to, and the fact still remains. So, given that just meeting the man, strange things happen. So,
yeah.
You never know. This is Bald and Bonkers. Where do things happen?
He promised his first task was to make Zach Bagan's life a pure misery. Pure Zach. He'll be sitting in the corner of the room now with his crucifix and his holy water sprinkling it off.
Anyway.
But guys, honestly, this is what he would want us to be. He would want us to be happy. And if you want to say goodbye to him, just go to his Twitter account and message him and say goodbye and tell him what you thought of him.
I will say this. It was Mike's son who posted the news when we saw it last night, and it does sound like, because he had so many people that he was reaching out to through the internet, they are going to try to hold a digital memorial service for him so we can all be a part. Last I checked, there wasn't any updates on that, so do give Mike a follow on his Facebook or Twitter. Twitter or YouTube mostly. See when that update comes. But There's some people that wanted us to, kind of hold back on this, but because Mike was such a big part of this show and, part of our personal lives, we couldn't just not say anything.
My brother Drew in there, yes, that's Mike the Naked Bigfoot. He sadly passed away on Monday, on Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
He knew it was going to happen. He knew, and he came to terms with it, and I would talk to him about it and stuff. I mean, it was scary to think. I mean, he knew when he was going to die. He knew when he see Christmas. And I will say this, I hope his book comes out. I really do hope his book comes out.
Yeah, we'll definitely put something out on here to help push that out, because that man, 2 years with him was not enough. Not enough. I'll say that.
I always wanted to go in an investigation with him, and you could be locked in the tent overnight, I'm sure it would have
Oh, dear Lord. We're bringing that crap up again.
I know. He offered to do it for you, he offered to keep you cozy at night, Do you not think there's a wee bit of lag in the night? It's kind of weird. You see, that's the thing. He could be running about as the new guys. He could be there watching us.
Well, remember what he always said. He was trying to manifest himself as fart noises.
Yes. So there you go. I wonder what one is he'll visit first. Hopefully it'll be him.
Well, I may be stateside, but you're the one that talked to him more.
That's very true. That's very true. So if you're deciding, Mike, visit Dakota,
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome to come by, Mike. Scare the crap out of the Catholic church that's next door.
Oh my God!
To see that.
Oh my God! Mike in a church? Mike in a church?
Next thing you know, the church will be burnt to the ground.
There'll be somebody chasing him about with a fire extinguisher. But his beliefs were totally different to a lot of folks. See, that's the thing. I've got beliefs that the spirit goes on and stuff like that. Your beliefs are different. Everybody in the chat's beliefs are different. But it all ends up to the same thing. When you die, you cross over, And we'll see him again. We will see him again. Trust us, we'll see him again.
If there's anything you can draw from with this type of subject, for a fact that death is never the end. But
yep,
I feel that's about as much as we could say. So shall we get started on the actual show?
Yes, we will get started on the show, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be talking about Dakota. I've totally forgotten.
What?
No, I've not forgotten.
Oh,
God. We are going to be.
Hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Before you are tantalized in your present center for tonight's broadcast of the Bob and Monster Show, we must inform you that sadly, due to the powers that be that constantly spy on you 24/7, 7 days a week, your time, we are unable to provide the usual plethora of music and visual stimuli to ease your short attention span. My name is Hellhog from the planet, and we hope you enjoy this broadcast. Wait a minute.
Hey, what's this dude?
Billy Ray?
What?
What do you have there?
Thing?
What's that damn thing down, Billy Ray? Hey, Billy.
Hey, John, what's this?
I thought we were doing something dumbass rednecks up here. Crap, this thing's still on. Enjoy the show!
Andrina, quit flashing your balls! I'm just kidding.
That's terrible. I just remembered what I was going to say there. Now I forgot it again. No, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are going to be talking about the conspiracy of UFOs. Do humans have the capabilities to build them? Have we been flying them for the years? That's like my mystical look. That's my mystical look. If you're wanting to see the mystical look, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to come and watch the YouTube.
Your mystical look looks pixelated as a motherfucker.
I'm not pixelated. You're pixelated.
You're fucking pixelated. Yeah, you are. You're almost blending into your backdrop there. How bad you pixelated.
Ladies and gentlemen, am I pixelated right now? Because I can... Oh, I'm pixelated. That's weird, that. Because I'm watching it on my phone. Why is that?
I don't know. It could be one of those things where it fixes itself up once we get done. See?
You're Sherry. You are.
Chris is pixelated, but Dakota is okay.
You know?
Which is weird. You think I would be the pixelated one over there because technically you're close to her.
Maybe it's the spirits that run about me. I've just been to Birkwood, one of the most haunted hospitals in Scotland.
And I've just been working on my car because apparently my dumbass left the door open all weekend.
Yes. You see, that's the thing. You know that.
And I didn't realize it, but the stray cats trying to get out of the rain sure did.
See, I wonder what's causing that pixelation. Wait a minute, I'm getting into settings here. That's annoyed me. Camera settings. Or standard definition. Wait a minute.
Oh my lord.
There we go.
So, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you'll obviously hear a lot about, the patents when it comes to, like, conspiracies. Oh, there's patents for mind control. There's patents for spacecraft. And here's the thing. A lot of the patent process, you have to be able to prove somehow that the subject works, that it's viable in some way. And it's also novelty. I mean, no one else could have thought of it. What the hell? Okay, is anybody hearing Chris right now? I can't hear you. And I'm alone. Okay. Well, so yes, ladies and gentlemen, we thought it would be kind of interesting to do a show where we would look into this. And Chris is back, so hopefully his shit works now. I can see your mouth moving, but that's about it.
Can you not see me?
Oh, there you go. We have audio.
I'm telling you, I'm radioactive or something. It's the spirits for that bloody. Would you call it that abandoned hospital?
Where your co-host is a jackass.
Oh, you, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Take him out and flog him. There's my big stick. That's it. No, but honestly, ladies and gentlemen, right, forgetting here, just listen to me here. Right? There's a lot of countries built spaceships, but they've never flew them. Why? What's that Russian one that's kept in the big hangar, and still to this day it's in that hangar? It was the Russian version of the space shuttle.
Yeah. Well, you also got to remember, the Russians, they tried to cut a lot of corners when it comes to a lot of their operations. I mean, everybody freaking out about the robotic dogs with the bazookas on. Hey, focus!
See, it's doing it to him now. Do you get my hang of this? I'm going to blame Mike. Mike, is that you?
Almost. Would it be appropriate for us to do a spirit box session right now? Give it some time. We all just found out. Let's give it some time before. Maybe down the road we'll do a spirit box session or just who comes through.
I tell you what. Do you have any of the pictures there of the documentation? What documentation is there? What ships is it? The Americans or British or whoever? What?
All right. I basically saved a couple of links. Like I said, my dumbass fucked up my car battery, and I was trying to work on that all day.
Yes. It's okay. We can't all be amazing like me.
Yeah, I should really put like a picture of you over here Just so I have like a reminder of which way to look.
Throw darts,
You make a stupid remark.
You could throw like darts at it.
I'll throw my cat at it. What? All right, so we'll go ahead and share screen. Check this out.
See, that's
Here
very
we
interesting.
have a literal triangle spacecraft. Now, here's the thing that I find a little awkward. So maybe someone else picked up the patent. I don't know. You have like the TR-3B, right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a triangular spacecraft that is powered by a nuclear and mercury-based engine.
Interesting.
So, you have all this legal babble right here. Basically shows the following components as a triangular hull, copper plates attached on opposite vertical sides at each of the three corners of the hull, electrostatic generator to charge the copper corners to a high power voltage, and the third is a copper plate core with high negative voltage. Basically, they're trying to create a current with a lot of...
Yeah.
I'm starting to stumble over my words here. Basically, they're trying to create a current that you can control with magnetism when it comes to these things.
Yeah.
And that's why that's why they say you can see the UFOs tilt, because they're trying to tilt it in the favor of which direction they're trying to go.
See, I always found it very interesting, the Mercury side of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had the Great Pyramids, and what did they find inside the pyramids? Large quantities of mercury.
Mm-hmm.
And other locations around the world where they think the aliens visited, right, they've found deposits of mercury.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Very true.
How does it actually work? How does this engine actually work?
Oh, officially it's been abandoned, so they didn't get very far with it, officially. But like I said, we have the TR-3Bs, which are a very similar design. Fuck it. My fat fingers.
Just give it a minute, guys, while Dakota looks up his...
And like I said, I was pushing car repairs till last minute to be...
I'm watching him down the bottom, guys. He's got pictures of like Ferraris and all that kind of stuff. I would love to see you climb into a Ferrari.
Oh, dear God, I can't get into a Ferrari. What are you talking about? There.
You know,
we'll bring this back up. All right, see what I mean? We have this craft working, functional. Usually for stealth missions.
And what's the name of that again?
The TR-3B.
Can it go interplanetary? What I mean is, how long does it take to get to Mars?
Allegedly, some of these craft can only take about 90 minutes.
See, this is the thing. Why do they not release this? The idea how...
Because they want the fancier toys.
Eventually it will come out, though.
You say that now, but by the time it comes out, what's going to be the stressor that activates it?
That's true.
What's going to be the stressor that activates it?
Dakota's freezing. Dakota's went all pixelated now, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, you're so offended by going pixelated that you're trying to say, now I'm doing it. No, you're the one that still looks like shit.
Really? Yeah. It's weird, guys. It's a Sunday night, and I think the spirits are doing it to annoy us.
I think we're all feeling a little off right now.
I think that's what it is.
I mean, here's another different patent. And it's because I'm doing the screen sharing. That's why the thing's not working so well. But here's another patent that's actually filed by NASA for a space vehicle with artificial gravity and Earth-like environment. This was filed back in the 70s.
Man, I think they've had them since the 1950s, to be purely honest with you, with the technology that they've been dabbling with.
Not to any braggable extent.
Look at computers, right? A lot of these ships will be flown by computers. Do you think they'll have artificial intelligence in them?
They would almost need to, because these types of ships would need constant monitoring. That's why we want to be implementing artificial intelligence into spacecraft, because we got to let the crew sleep.
Mm-hmm.
The crew has to go through specific trainings in order to keep their body mass dealt with at a healthy level for when they come home.
See, we're getting hit with a big solar storm now.
Yeah.
I think that's what's causing it.
Most likely.
Yeah. I mean, and how is this? Is it a Mercury engine that's in this one?
No.
What's this one?
Let's see. Oh, I'm looking at it. Again, it is supposed to create artificial gravity, and in order for that to actually work, what it will need to be is essentially, it would essentially have to be fucking massive.
What's massive? The size of a football park? Oh,
bigger than that, Chris.
Okay.
Like, you know how in some of the latest science fiction films, say like, what was that one? Passengers, where you have those gigantic ships. Essentially, you spin those quick enough with enough of power to them, you can create gravity on those.
Yeah.
Or at least simulate it.
I mean, I've heard of the secret space fleet, right?
Mm-hmm.
The breakaway, what is it, human civilization that broke away in the 1950s, 1960s, with the technology. It makes you wonder why they don't try and share this with us. Then it's obviously the world to be the one to still be addicted to like oil and stuff.
Because when you think about it, Congress, presidents, prime ministers, they have lobbyists. They appeal to corporations. You know, think of the Robin Williams bit where they say all the politicians should wear like NASCAR jackets with the logos of all the different companies that actually sponsor them. So we actually know who we're voting into office. As I'm checking for red laser pointers from a sniper rifle.
Yeah. We've got him inside overs. Do you want him to take him out? No, he hasn't got to the alien part yet.
Alien part? Which one are you talking about?
See, this is the thing. Do you think there's still deals going on right now with the alien extraterrestrials?
A lot of what contactees are trying to say is that darker forces are trying to infiltrate because they know they're losing the war. There's talks of what they call looking glasses going missing, which would allow any conscious being, to look into future events. It's kind of like the chronovisor that's supposed to be within the Vatican archives. A much fancier version of that.
God.
Allegedly, one's gone missing.
What's that exactly? I've never heard of that before.
The chronovisor?
Yeah, I've never heard of that before.
Basically, it's supposed to be a device that lets you, look on a screen at any historical event throughout time and space.
That's handy.
That would be handy. Can you imagine all the mysteries we could solve with having something like that on hand?
So you could look at President Kennedy's assassination.
There's allegedly, they managed to get a photo of Christ at the crucifixion using this thing.
Do you think, obviously, Christ, that he knew the future?
Oh, no, there's several scriptures that have either just been completely lost and ignored or omitted that would indicate, if you think about it in more modern tongues, Christ was one of the very first starseeds to have major influence. And by the way, he wasn't celibate. He had a woman.
Yeah, he did. See, that's what a lot of people don't realise, that Jesus was married and he had children.
Think about it. He wasn't afraid to start whipping people. Jesus was a freak, super freak.
Oh, aye. I mean, you got to remember a lot of what's in that book. I'll just say the book, because if I say that name, folk will come leaving his messages and stuff. A lot of that's been designed to make people obey the rules. Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. In using your analogy, the book, several religious texts have sections that basically say anybody who does not follow the church is safer from being punished.
Yeah.
Because the church has been corrupted.
Yeah. I mean, I think the church knows more. I mean, especially the Catholic Church, they're the top ones. They know the truth about UFOs.
I mean, why would the Vatican need its own observatory?
Because it knows there's an extraterrestrial life out there.
Oh, they fully admitted that.
They said that if they came, they would make them,
Oh, yeah. They came out years ago. I think it was back in 2010, if I remember correctly, that belief in extraterrestrials does not interfere with belief of religion.
Here's another one for you. You remember, oh my God, I'm going back maybe 10 years. Remember that incident in Antarctica? Where is it? Neil Armstrong went down, the Pope went, all the world leaders went to Antarctica.
Mm-hmm.
What's to say they didn't find something? What's to say they didn't find a ship buried under the ice?
Well, a lot of people don't realize that Antarctica was not just...
It was a tropical climate.
It was not always a big chunk of ice. At one point, it was... The space we know as Antarctica would have been roughly near the equator. So it was a very tropical climate. So you never know. All this stuff about things being buried underneath the ice, there could very well be. It stands to reason.
But here's the thing, right? Why would Neil Armstrong go down to see whatever they were saying? Right, but here's the thing. Did he witness a ship on the moon, right? And he went down to see if it was the same one.
There's allegedly points where lunar transmissions came offline, where it's not just Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, but others who went to the moon who tried radioing them back to NASA saying, we're not alone up here. There's someone watching us.
Oh, yeah. Why do you think we've never been back there, ladies and gentlemen? Because we're not allowed back there. We're allowed to go to our wee spots where we're allowed to drive about in our wee rovers, but we're not allowed to land there and build a civilization on the moon.
You know, this is going to sound a little ridiculous, okay?
Right, fair away.
But, you know, we always talk about how there's...
I'm still listening, I'm just going to blubber.
He's going to go blow. Well, okay. Whatever you do in your time, Christopher. You know, Sherry's told me some things about you. Anyway. You know, we always talk about how there was a bit of a soft disclosure within the media, right?
Yeah. Where
either the creative teams behind, say, like The Matrix, Jupiter Ascending, all these films that deal with ETs or spiritual concepts, they either experienced something or they were told this information because they wanted some sort of fictional offshoot, whoever told them. They say that Star Wars and Star Trek are actually based on real concepts. And if you actually think about it, Star Trek, we're not too far off from having that reality.
Oh, we're a good 300 or 400 years away from that.
Who said? Not even then.
Do you not think
so? Full on, but we're already starting to step into the infancy of it when you really think about it. Then we have, there's also claims that Star Wars was inspired by visions of ancient wars within the Orion area. Yeah, no, I'm looking at the comments too.
I'm looking at it too. I'm just reading them.
And it's not wrong. And she's not wrong because there's been talks about utilizing the moons as there's a moon base. That's something that the Nazis wanted to do. Allegedly, the Russians built.
But think about it, right? Think about the mineral. Pronounce this correctly. The mineral resources that's on the moon.
Oh, I mean, dude. I just saw something on this. I actually just saw something on this. Helium-3.
Yes.
That has enough energy to it to completely eradicate the world's energy crisis within a matter of days. And guess who's got laid claim onto it?
China.
The Chinese. Because 99% of the world is made in China.
But you've got to remember, see, the Chinese dust, what do you call it, the moon dust, is very, very corrosive.
Mm-hmm.
See, like moving parts and stuff. But think about it, if we have got the technology now, if we to build a city or whatever on the moon, right, we could start mining helium-3, we could start using that as a launching platform to fly to Mars or to fly to our solar system, and
I mean, that's actually a known space travel maneuver that we use today. That we're wanting to go into deep space, we try to target towards planetary orbits, which would essentially cause us to slingshot.
Yes.
Into farther reaches. In fact, they say that may have been a version of what happened with the Oumuamua. We got into talking about that, but I was find it funny. There's a game series I liked playing growing up. It's called Destroy Humans.
I can still hear you. I'm just adjusting my headphones.
We talked about you having a wank on the show.
Control yourself! I've got something in my eye. I've got bloody eyes there all of a sudden. It's ever since I went ghost hunting today, I've just been totally... I feel weird. I don't know what it is. It's as if I've had all the energy zapped out of me. It's so weird.
And, Andrina actually points out something very true. The Vatican has archives that go miles and miles deep underground.
Oh, yeah.
But much like the U.S. government, they essentially do have their own Freedom of Information Act. But, essentially, to put it simply, you have to know something's there in order to request it. You can't just go in and start looking around.
Yeah.
Imagine
it makes you wonder what else they've got in there. I mean, do they have the Ark of the Covenant? Do they have the Holy Grail? Do they have books that actually tell the story about the Earth comes to the Earth? What do you call it? The moon comes to the Earth. Do they have things in there that could totally enlighten humanity? Yeah. I'm just going to agree with Sherry there. I've been feeling zapped all day. I just feel like all the energy is totally drained out of me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's maybe I can,
a combination of last night's news and the weather is what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Starting to get colder, so everybody wants to go into hibernation.
I know. I wish I could do that. I could just crawl out of my bed and wake up in the spring.
Same here, man. It's just like, bye, everybody.
Aye. But I'll tell you, we've got a special show planned, haven't we? For, we might as well tell everybody about this,
I guess we should.
Show.
I guess we should,
Who do we have on the Christmas show? We have a strange guy called Brian coming on.
I know.
That guy, he does lives, he's got like a fake Christmas tree in the background.
He swears up and down, it's not a Christmas tree.
I know, I just like to wind him up.
And Chris has been awfully obsessed with Brian ever since he found out that Brian was a hairdresser.
I know, it's just, I've had dreams about flicking my hair back and going, a soft convertible, the air flowing through my hair, But who else do we have on?
Oh, let's see.
His sidekick.
His little... Does that make Lex Robin? I mean, think about it. Brian's the one that's leading up all, Parapost, Global Ghost Hunt, all this stuff. So he's obviously got money coming from somewhere. I don't want to know where.
It's okay. We'll not ask if you work for the CIA. Oh, should have said that.
I know.
But we
have Brian and Lex. Who's that one crazy lady that we're always hanging?
Oh, that strange lady. That strange lady that has
probably be a little
problems.
bit more specific because plenty of those strange ladies are in the audience right now.
You better watch. You'll end up in a jar. The one that has computer problems.
That doesn't limit it down, man.
The last time, what else? Which thing?
She was really helpful towards the beginning of our alien excursions.
Yes.
So we'll give her that.
Lisa Fry,
Oh, I think we offended Sherry.
Well, Sherry, I don't blame you, Sherry. If you want to have a meeting after this and discuss this with Dakota, I think you should. And I will stick up for you, Sherry. I will stick up for you. For your rights.
Let's see. Who else was supposed to make an appearance that day?
Well, it's me and you.
Oh, obviously. Unfortunately, people like us bitching at each other too much for me to get rid of you easily.
I know. Oh, it's that guy. You ken that guy? Ken the guy who's on the telly all the time? He's that guy. You ken the guy I'm talking about?
Let's see. That one guy. Yeah. I was like, he was just on the television the other night.
He's got his. You're as bad, Chris. Oh, I know, I'm terrible. What is it? He's got his own radio station. He's got his own radio station and his own Discovery Plus.
Oh, well, I would imagine the other guest just recently got added to Discovery Plus. Some of his old ventures.
Nah.
But our good friend Dave Schrader is going to be on with us that day, as well as a man who definitely made us question a lot when we learned that having cravings for sugar may actually be a form of morphine for psychics.
Oh, you talking about Barry Fitzgerald?
Oh yeah,
he's known me.
I thought you said he was.
No, he can't make it.
Ah, you son of a bitch!
Do you not read the Post, man? Do you not read the Post?
Read Post. You.
He's broke his mic, ladies and gentlemen. You broke your mic. Look, that's it. It's went. We can't listen to Dakota anymore. Here, I'll kid on him, Dakota, for you. Hello, I'm Dakota. That's good. That's Drew and that's Sherry, and they're brewing up a potion,
I know, they're getting right. All right, so Sherry's talking about putting us in jars, and Drina talking about putting us in a freezer. Why did I just lag?
Oh my God, you're doing that thing that Mike used to do, that the voice changes.
What, seriously?
Yeah. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you mean. This is crazy.
What the hell? Mike, knock it out, brother.
Mike,
Mike.
whatever you're doing, Mike, whatever you're doing, my friend, keep doing it, but make sure to him.
Go tease him. He's the one that has dirty thoughts about you.
I know. It's terrible. You see, this is great, guys. This is why we're called Bald and Bonkers. 1, we're bald. 2, we're bonkers. I mean, what's that? I've got a sleep punch to make tonight. Better hope it's don't. What's that? Linger. Some sleep punch.
Did Andrina just admit to wanting to roofie people? Wow!
Well, what happened there? You sounded like a Cylon briefly. That's weird, that.
Is my mic going to shit on me?
I told him not to buy a cheap one. But no, he had to go and buy one. See?
What the hell? It's not even coming undone. What is this?
What is it like? Is it somebody keep muting you? It's not me. I can't reach the computer.
And that's what you get.
No. Honestly, I didn't. I swear I didn't do it. Honestly, it's not me.
We have a question in the audience. Are the unstable women joining the panel for Christmas? Should we? I think we need to medicate them heavily before we let them anywhere near us.
I'm thinking, if we could send Sherry to one of the islands off the Outer Hebrides, for like 6 weeks, relaxing
Out of
holiday.
The what?
The Outer Hebrides. You never heard of that place, the Outer Hebrides? It's an island chain in Scotland, and it's very, very remote.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You think this guy comes to Scotland on his holidays and doesn't even care about the Outer Hebrides?
The only thing I cared about when going to
Americans,
Scotland...
The
only thing I cared about when I went to Scotland was going to Loch Ness.
See, this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. This is the thing. The American come here, he thinks he knows everything, he sees one big monster swimming about, doing the backstroke or something in Loch Ness, and then he doesn't even know where the Outer Hebrides are. I'm not doing it! How can I do it? I'm not doing it!
Hands behind your head! I'm just kidding.
Look, I'll put the hands up there.
What the hell? Why does...
Look! You're muted again. It's so
Yep, the women are talking about roofing us.
So what's muting your mic?
No!
It's not me. See, this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I think somebody's having a laugh with you, Ken, that.
Stick it in the hole!
You have that problem quite a lot.
Either that or my pussies are biting on it too hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, we need to marry these fun nights. We should start doing a fun night, Mind we used to do them where we had everybody come up. Why don't we do that? Do we have anything planned for this Saturday?
I don't think we did because, well, quite frankly, the time change, being that, U.S. and U.K. have like 2 weeks difference when we do time change, we kind of avoid trying to book any guests during that time frame because we get all screwy.
Yeah. Well, I think we should invite everybody up for Saturday night.
Why not?
We should do a community night. Chad could come in and tell us a joke. And, Sherry could come in and tell us how to do spells and how to grow hair.
I'm just going to say this about good old Chad.
Hello, Chad.
His wife has been posting some very concerning photos.
Hey, I've not been on Facebook
that either make him look like a serial killer or makes it sound like he's going to be saying, "You got a pretty mouth."
That's terrible, Chad. That's terrible, Chad. Isn't it? He's probably sitting there and he's probably got this look.
Something like this.
See, Chad, if you want to put the coat in a jar, I'm sure Sherry can help you, or Drew's Paranormal Vlog can show you how to put it in a jar.
Haven't y'all learned? I pick on everybody.
I know. But I don't know why your mute was getting muted.
I
just
know
do
what
not
the
know.
hell is going on with that. No, I know it's not you because I keep saying that my mic is getting physically unplugged.
Yeah.
So unless I got something going loose in my computer, which that's gonna fucking suck if that's the case.
Here's a question.
What the hell?
That's you. That's
I'll figure out how to use my mouse with my foot so I can still do it and fuck with you.
Honestly, I mean, was that you there? Honestly, was that you that did that? It was him. Right, so it was him. Because see, we need to do these nights. I'm an equal. What's that? Opportunity crazy.
Well,
what shows have we got planned for this week? Which interesting show. I hear Sherry now has the keys to the kingdom.
Yes,
she can run her own show.
We gave Sherry the free back door. Wait.
Yeah.
With StreamYard, they introduced I didn't mean it to be sounding dirty, but with StreamYard, they introduced a new team feature, so you can share the accounts more, and without having to give away, any specific logins. They're trying to do what Netflix is trying to do to avoid password sharing. God.
Well, when Dakota's about, you need to lock it. See, honestly, we need to do these more often. We need to do these against.
Chris, you know why women like tall men, right?
No, but I've got a feeling you're going to tell me.
Oh, it's not that hard to figure out. Women like tall men because we're always having to go down.
Oh my God. If anybody wants to write a complaint letter, please go to the official Bald and Bonkers website. Yep. There you will find the documentation that you need to contact Dakota and send him your hate mail.
Yep. Well, here, we'll go ahead and post the link here.
What are you saying? Are you posting your email, like? I wonder, do you ever get any messages complaining?
No, I don't know. I keep sending them your way.
Oh, yeah. See, what's that, Sherry? Short men are. Oh, for God's sake! Honestly,
what did she say?
Do you think? See, one night, I think we need to let the women take our alive, and we can have the Saturday night off. We could call it "Women Talk About Stuff" or something like that. I don't know. What would the women talk about? Women-y things.
No, it's either. But it would either have to go for Girl Talk or Danger Zone. Men, run.
There's Facebook users. I could complain.
Why do I feel like I know who that is? Why do I feel like I know who that is?
Who do you think it is?
I have a theory. And I may have to be careful with what I say because she may have my dinner.
Is that your mummy? Is that your mummy there?
I feel like I should physically look just to check.
I think it's your mummy. You better treat her with respect, man. She'll be making your dinner up, putting straight.
My mother cook.
Aye, all American women can cook really good. That's what I was always been telling her. They're amazing cooking.
Oh my God, not my mother.
No, I was right. I'll tell you something, by the way, if we never see Dakota again, I'll be looking for a new co-host. Please message me through the Bald and Bonkers Facebook.
As my mother would always say, if she all of a sudden has a brand new rose bush, you know what happened.
Just put it there, mummy.
Yeah, I know, I just looked.
Is it your mummy?
Yeah, it's my mother.
It says mummy. Nice to see you, Sharon. Nice to see you.
She's gotten better in her old age, but
you're a cheeky bugger. By the way, I'm older than your mother. I'm 40.
No, you're not.
I don't know where I got that. I thought your mother was only in her 30s, 38 or 39.
Well, that would be very concerning considering I'm 26.
Right. I can see that there. You get people that have children at 16 and stuff like that. 18.
You're insinuating my mother had a child at 12.
No, I never said that. I just thought you were the same age as me. There you go. I thought you were a wee bit younger than me, but there you go. Compliments. The compliments. You should be all happy now.
All views expressed are that of Dakota and not of Bald and Bonkers Network. Please send concerns to him specifically. Well, considering I'm CEO of the company, technically.
Yes. Oh. He's froze. What's happened there, ladies and gentlemen?
In my defense,
I didn't know that was. I thought you were younger. So there you go. There's a compliment for you. So there you go.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of people that assume that I'm older than my own damn mother. That's why I don't like going out in public with her a lot.
Would you get mistaken for her father or something?
Worse.
Her grandpa?
Worse. Her husband. No, okay. You want to hear a funny story?
I'm all
All right. This show's gone off the rails anyway.
Yeah, I know.
So, my mom had to go to the dentist, and she was needing to drive. So, I offered because she was going to have to drive me to the airport for one of my trips way off yonder.
Yeah.
So, we happen to stop by the shop, and there just happens to be a beautiful woman she happens to work with there.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom is a 911 dispatcher, so she deals a lot with cops. Very beautiful officer. Goes to introduce herself. Obviously, the woman gets concerned because she's never physically seen my mother's face. Only heard her voice.
Right.
They go to introduce, like, oh, hi. Shannon from dispatch. Yeah, oh, hi. And all that. We go our separate ways. I make sure to specify that I was her son. So now, one of the guys that this woman was screwing around because, well, let's just say she's been with a lot of men at once. You come to find out, it's like, oh, I heard you ran into this girl out at the store. Right? Yeah, so yeah, she mentioned something about that you were with a really good-looking man. They were talking to my mom. It's like, oh, you were really with a good-looking man. It's like, oh, really? It's like, yeah, I thought it was her husband. Fuck.
When I first met you, I thought you were in your 50s. But
Fuck off.
It must have been handy when you were 6. You could buy a pack of beer or something like that, you know.
I thought about trying when I was like 11, but the thing was, the main bartender, it was a really small town, the bartender in the town I lived in at the time had a daughter that was in my class.
Yeah.
So I figured if anybody was going to bust me.
Look, all people comes in different shapes and sizes. You just came in slightly too tall a shape, but, you know what I mean? It's the mysteries of the universe. Mysteries strange. What?
No, man, I don't know.
Look, you all got to have a laugh. Look at me. I'm completely bald. Well, not as bald as Dakota, but I've still got a wee bit of hair there.
Look, I haven't shaved the last couple of days. You can see where my hair...
All my hair at this side's going grey.
All my hair has gone grey, and I'm younger than you.
Honestly, guys, what do you think?
I'm even just noticing
like?
fucking gray streaks in my fucking soul patch, dude.
What age do you think Dakota will look like when he's, say, 80?
Well,
He may look the same.
Here, I'll give it a little bit of a compliment here. But my grandmother, my mom's mom, she hasn't really aged a lot since her 40s, so a little more so after dealing with my 14-year-old cousin and the heart attack, but...
Oh, there's your mum. She's very annoyed with you.
Good God, what do you two think of me? I don't think I should answer that on air.
Well, I think you're a very intelligent woman, and I think after, what's his name comes off, Dakota, because I'm very tired tonight, I'm forgetting his name, you should give him a good saying to, because you've been naughty. You know,
my mother has had to physically jump in order to smack me on the, upside the head. And she's 5'9".
And?
No, she's had to physically jump in order to smack me.
Would you get aroused? She had to use a pair of step ladders or something like that.
She's physically grabbed a chair to smack me upside the head.
What's that? There's Drew's paranormal vlog. Put something about you.
All right. You can see it here. I have comfort. I don't smoke. I only drink on special occasions, so I know for a fact that.
Yeah, that's what I've never seen you drinking. Actually, that's actually got a bit of experience.
Well, I haven't. I have an issues with my pancreas not exactly working, and if I'm not careful, if I mess around enough, I would be in the same boat Mike was.
I know.
To be completely honest, So honestly, when he disclosed what was going on with him, that kind of scared me because I knew that if I go to mess around too much,
I've never ever drunk in my entire life.
I have, but it was special occasions. So, I was on vacation, stuff like that.
See, but that's the thing. You should have a drink on the Christmas show. Have some Ribena or something like that, some water or something like that. Yeah.
I'll come on with one of those Martinellis. They look like champagne, but non-alcoholic. Come on air with one of those in hand and you just start chugging.
Oh my god! But have you put together tonight a special closing thing with a picture in it specifically? When you got
what? You already go look?
No, but you told me last night that's what you're going to do.
Well, it's not too much difference, but I guess we are definitely gonna get ready to start closing now because I do have to go to work tonight, unfortunately. But
yes, guys, and I need to go to my bed because I feel like I'm going to zonk out.
You know what? Things kind of went off the rails a little bit more than we were intending, but you know what? We just lost a friend, so we needed a little chance to laugh.
We need to, and Chad, you can join us next Saturday, and you can talk about alien things, and you can tell us a joke. Give us a good joke.
And we can see if the new tones I've brewed up mess with your neck.
Oh God.
If you've heard them.
All right. So they're fine then, So, ladies and gentlemen, have a lovely week, and may the aliens and spirits come and visit you through the night and do terrible things to you.
And
Chad, hopefully they'll come and see you first.
Why you always got to pick on Chad?
Chad's into that kind of thing. He likes when the aliens come and start doing things to him.
It was just Halloween, man. Discount candy day. I took full advantage of it. They needed help. They needed help clearing out the There was like 20 carts of Halloween candy left over at the store I worked at. Or trolleys, as you like to call them. Posh bastards.
I know. Right, everybody, good night. See you all through the week sometime. Take care.
I'll see ya.
Be safe. Toodaloo.
This episode is dedicated in loving memory to Mike the Naked Bigfoot Coleman. See you on the other side, brother.